happens to the oil or other extract when it is mixed or diluted with infused coconut oil? Okay, so that's the first question there.
Well, it's been in my experience that anyone trying to diffuse or mix or dilute the oil with anything else, it doesn't have the same kind of results for some reason. I totally recommend, you can totally take your omega-3 oils or whatever along with your hemp oil, but I don't recommend diluting anything. And if anyone is out there saying that it's infused, I think that's just another way of saying we've diluted it just a little bit for you. Make it yourself, guys, and make sure you do your research if you trust someone else to do it for you, and make sure that it's absolutely as pure as possible.
Okay, let's see. We've got one last question here at the bottom of the page. Has there been a way found to extract just the painkillers, CBG, CBD? I will actually address that question first. I have a lot of experience with the different cannabinoids. I can tell you, as of right now, and as of this guy's knowledge, the best way to isolate CBG, CBD in your extracts is to start off working with a specific plant that is specifically high in those cannabinoids. I will tell you that it is hard to get your hands on certain strains that are high in the CBDs and CBGs. But anyway, I know for a fact that cannabidiol, CBD, is very, very high in the strain, frog in my throat, in the strain known as Harlequin, Cannatonic as well. And these are, if you are legally allowed to grow and you are able to, if you're, let's say you're in Boulder, because that's the only thing I can say, and you're asking me as a legal grower, I know that you can legally obtain seeds of that strain from Barney's farm, but I can only tell you that as a resident of this, at least, state. So if you're outside Colorado, I don't really have any evidence, or go ahead.
I can help, because then I can say that back when I lived in an illegal state, if you don't have access to the different strains, just got to ask your guy for something sleepy and sticky, something that's going to lock you on the couch. That's what they can understand by how it makes you feel, and they'll help you get what you need. That's what I was able to do when I was sick in an illegal state. I really had to stress that, I just need something that's going to make me sleepy, and I was able to find it.
So what she's saying is basically that the side effects from the helpful and more treatment-oriented cannabinoids like CBD are going to be sleepiness and, kind of the groggy weeds. Those are the ones that, that's what CBD does to you. It makes you kind of sleepy. So if you're going off of nothing but side effect and you have no other test result or anything you can look at, ask for something that makes you sleepy, because that's your best bet. Let's see if we have any more questions on the page here. I'll go ahead, Shona, and see if you've got any questions on there that we can look at.
I don't know, since we're talking about this, I don't know if I should address it or not. We might even decide to omit this later. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
But anyhow, when it comes to looking at the different cannabinoids within the plant, and you're looking at these different labs that have isolated that this one does this and this one does that, anyone who has tried the vaporized oil will can attest here and let you know that you really don't feel much of anything. But when that stuff is tested, it came back as very high, like the highest in CBNs our labs here had ever seen. And I went to their little chart and I looked at the CBNs, and it says that they're supposed to make you like very groggy and sleepy and lethargic. Well, that never happened with my oil, and so I have a personal kind of point of view on it's still a pioneer's world out there. We still really don't know everything that's going on. And honestly, even the guys that are in the game, guys, are just experimenting. We're all experimenting. And I just wanted to get that across, because people are making laws and regulations based on opinion, because everything's opinion, and you just have to remember that.
Yeah, I mean everything we're reading and seeing and finding right now. I mean, it's not necessarily. I mean, it could all be. It could be misinterpreted, is what we're saying. Everything is still evolving as knowledge, and everything is kind of relative to the person who's discovering it, even us. So you have to do your own research, man. I mean, everything we're saying is just our opinion based on what we've found. And what we believe to be factual from what we've done the research on. But I mean, CBDs and CBNs and THC and all this stuff, like, this is just the beginning of what we know. It's not the end or the holy grail by any means. These are just simple little tools that we're finding out. And like this last question, how do you isolate? Is like, well, we can barely find them. So let alone isolate them. So it's kind of like she said, we're all just pioneers and stabbing in the dark here. At least us on this level, because we're kind of being held back. There's a lot of restriction on us, and there's a lot of fighting that we have to do just to be able to treat ourselves with this plant, and that shouldn't be. So the real focus, at least. For people who are in illegal states, doesn't need to be how do I isolate, CBDs and CBNs and stuff like that. It needs to be how do I medicate without someone coming and breaking down my door, because that's how you're going to have the time to isolate it. But anyway, I want to mention one more thing before I let Shona go. We have a small problem here that we need to address. Facebook has not been working quite properly for Shona Banda as far as her personal Facebook goes. Has it been doing that for the?
Yeah, it's been doing it for 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to see messages. I cannot respond to messages. I cannot send new messages. So. I'm normally answering messages and to many people all over, and I'm not able to access those messages. So if anyone has, questions or, want to have input or anything else, you can send me a personal email at LFOD contact at gmail.com.
Or you can just go to shonabanda.com and click on contact. It's as easy as that.
That's way easier.
Yeah. I'll probably going to take your email address out of this.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like she said, just go to lfodcontact at gmail.com, which is also available simply by going to shonabanda.com and clicking on contact. We're just going to be referring people to the website because Facebook doesn't seem to be working very well for whatever reason. We can't have that. You guys are really important to us, and your messages are important to us, and we need to get them answered. So, if you have any, send them to the website, and we will we'll address them just like we just did. Your question could be next, and all you have to do is send it. All right, Shona, you want to say anything else before we go?
Yeah, I'm just very excited for all of this. This is just our way to be able to interact on a much more personal level with everyone, and all my friends feel like family, and I'm with you guys like every day, and and I can't wait to incorporate all that into this website. And we've got to plan our phone calls today later.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, everybody
check
who
your inboxes, guys.
everybody who has been donating so far. Of course, the tiers are set up. Everybody who's donated up to a certain amount gets a phone call from Shona, and we're going to be scheduling those really soon. You'll be getting emails from us letting you know when you can decide when we'll call you. We've got a lot of international donations, so we're going to be making some phone calls at like 2 o'clock in the morning, but that's cool. We love the international donations. Thank you, Netherlands, and thank you, Australia. Thank you, UK. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Alabama. Thank you, where else did we get them from? Anyway, we'll have to update you guys, but yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I can't wait to get started and see how big we can make this thing go, because this is just our way to share our knowledge on a higher level.
Yep. All right, thank you guys very much. This has been Terry Boone and Shona Banda broadcasting out of Boulder, Colorado, and we will most likely see you soon.